because I eat a lot of sugar. So I try to avoid it whenever I can. And my husband must have left the lid open because there's not a lot of fizz in that. So sorry. Anyway, before I get started with the crafting, I wanted to share a couple of gifts that a couple of you guys have sent, and nobody needs to send me anything, FYI, but I know that some of you guys just have it in your heart. The first thing I got is in here. It says, "Merry Christmas from Heaven." Merry Christmas from Heaven. I still hear the songs. I still see the lights. I still feel your love on cold wintry nights. I still hear your hopes and all of your cares. I'll even remind you to please say your prayers. I just want to tell you, you still make me proud. You stand head and shoulders above all the crowd. Keep trying each moment to stay in His grace. I came here before you to help set your place. You don't have to be perfect all of the time. He forgives you the slip if you continue the climb. To my family and friends, please be thankful today. I am still close beside you in a new special way. I love you all dearly. Now don't shed a tear, 'cause I am spending my Christmas with Jesus this year. So this is Sassy's first Christmas in heaven. And it came with an ornament. Sorry, my nails are a mess. I haven't had a chance to get them done this week. And in the box, it says SassE 1970 to eternity. Thank you, Sarah, for that gift. I also got this cute little Christmas ornament of a barn. And it has a pine cone as the roof. It's just cute. And my friend Iram sent that to me. Thank you. It's by North Pole Trading Company. Thanks. And I also got a cool Thanksgiving card with the American flag on it. And I just want to say thanks to Rhonda for this card. These things like this, they really help me. They keep me going when I've had a bad day or I've had a bad week. So thank you guys for your sweet gifts and your cards. They really mean a lot to me and have really helped me through this difficult time. So before I get started on my craft, I just wanted to share some of the SassEkrafts that SassE did for a Thanksgiving show. Remember the corn husk dolls, guys? I will put a link either on this video or down below for the corn husk dolls. Here's the Indian girl and the pilgrim boy she made and the Indian boy, the pilgrim lady she made. These are all SassEkraft items that she made, and I actually made some with her. I don't remember how she filmed it, but I actually made some of the crafts with SassE, and I have my own version of these. Let me show you. There's my corn husk lady. This is the little girl pilgrim. This is the boy pilgrim. We're gonna call her the corn husk nanny because I don't know why I had two ladies. And here's my Indian guy. Trying to get my camera to focus. Yeah, so we did that project together and it was fun, but it was going to be making is this or these pumpkin pie banners for Thanksgiving. I thought they were pretty simple and cute, and that they would be fun to make, and actually that I would hang them up in the house. This is the website that the pumpkin pie Thanksgiving garland craft is located on. Less than perfect. Life is bliss. So if you don't have Pinterest and you want to go straight to that website, you can find this craft to do. I couldn't wait. I love caramel with anything. It's staring me in the face. What I like about this craft is that it's inexpensive and pretty easy to make. Cheers. So what you need are pieces of felt, orange, and tan for the pie crust. The next thing you need are these pom-poms. You can buy them at Hobby Lobby. It was $1.99 for this whole bag, but I think I got them 50% off, so I got this for $1. It's pretty good. The felt is only 33 cents, and you only need a few pieces. I think one of this and maybe 2 of these. And you're going to need a twine to hang your little pumpkin pies from. You're also going to need a hot glue gun to assemble everything, just in case that didn't work. I purchased some small clothespins to hang the little pumpkin pies from the wire. This is just a backup. Hopefully it'll work the way it's supposed to. I think I'm going to turn the camera around. That's what I'm going to try to do, so we'll see how that works. Okay guys, I'm reading the instructions, and it says that she used only 1 sheet of orange and 2 sheets of tan to make her whole project. So she says to start by cutting the orange pieces into 3.5 inch wide by 4.5 inch long triangles for the pie. While I'm doing this, I'm using a marker. This is actually for sewing. They make pencils, and it's just like a wax, and it washes off. So while I'm doing this, I will be chomping on my caramel apple, and I wanted to talk about my move from California to Georgia, since somebody in my last video left a comment asking about that. So if you fold the orange lengthwise, from here to here is 4.5 inches. So that's a very easy way to make your pie pieces. As I said, somebody asked me about my move from California to Georgia. And I'm not going to say that it was easy, but it was totally worth it. All of my friends that live in California want to leave. At least so it wasn't a big deal. So I didn't know how much it was going to cost. So I had a lady come and she looked at the house, and they, I don't know, I guess they have a formula or something where they figure out how much everything weighs, and she quoted me like $12,000. So that's when I decided to sell a bunch of my things, our things. So I sold the dining room table, the china hutch. I sold the sofas and the bed. We bought a new bed when we came here. I sold just about everything that I could to keep the weight down. And then you have to pack everything, of course, in boxes, and I was lucky. I was able to get a lot of boxes. Stop it. I was able to get boxes from the moving lady. Actually, she brought me some boxes. So I didn't spend a ton of money on that. But what I did do was I had 2 yard sales, and I put a bunch of stuff up for sale on OfferUp, and I sold a bunch of stuff that way. So in the end, I think we paid just under $10,000 to move, and it included 2 movers to pack up the truck, 2 movers to unpack the truck, and the driver of the truck. And what was interesting, I didn't know they did this, was that they had packed like 4 houses in the truck, and then the truck driver drives the truck all over the United States, dropping off the furniture in a certain order. So we got our stuff before the guy who moved to Florida got his, and I don't know where else he dropped things off at, if he dropped them off in Texas or whatever. There's a lot of people leaving California and moving to Texas and the Carolinas and just back east. Tennessee. So they're really busy moving people. I gotta see how many triangles I need to cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna cut more because I may make one as a gift, because I have a lot of orange and I have a lot of beige or tan felt from other projects, and I may give one of these to my friend Mary and John. We're eating Thanksgiving at their house this year. If you guys remember last year, I spent Thanksgiving in the hospital with SassEsnacks. We planned on buying our Thanksgiving from Cracker Barrel, which we did, and I was not home to eat it. So my husband and my son had to go pick it up or have Thanksgiving without me. I had Thanksgiving hospital dinner to leave my sister in the hospital by herself on Thanksgiving. So, we didn't even get to have any leftovers or anything. So anyway, this year we're going to go to my friend's house, and so I might make her one of these so she can hang at her house. So anyway, back to my move. So after they picked up our stuff, well, let me back up a little bit. My husband moved to Georgia in March of 2016 because he got a job and he started working. And then my son finished that school year and he moved to Georgia in June. Well, before he moved to Georgia in June, he and I moved in with SassE. If you remember the unexpected or uninvited guests, that was us. I bought SassE a sleeper sofa and we got to stay for free. That was the deal we made, so she couldn't kick me out. No. My husband moved first, and what we did was that's when we sold our house. We bought the new house and we packed up the truck, and all of the furniture came with him when he moved to Georgia. Trying to talk and eat and cut at the same time. Now I'm cutting the pie crust. He moved into the house by himself, and me and my son moved into Sassy's condo, which was very tight. My son and I slept on the sleeper sofa, and until my son moved. My husband moved. I drove across the country with him, and then I flew back to California, and my son and I stayed about 2 months in California, and then I flew with my son to Georgia and flew back to California, and then it was just me and SassE in her condo. And then from there I worked up until November 17th or 18th. Some jobs have this where you can use up your sick and vacation time. So I had my retirement party in November, and I left with my friend after my very last day of work. So I worked on Friday and we drove out on the next Saturday. I already showed you guys a picture of my brother and my sister before they passed away, and that was on my last video with the vanilla cake. And so I did that. I think that was November 13th, and I think by the 18th we were traveling to my girlfriend and I, who I used to work with. We took my car and drove it across the country. So we did basically the same stops that my husband and I did. We drove from, oh my God, my dog is ringing his tinkle bells. Hold on. So at this point, all I had left was, clothes and personal items that I had kept with me from when my husband moved and took all the furniture. So we packed up my car and started driving, and it was a lot of fun. It was both times I got to stop and see my son in Arizona, and it was good because I was getting away from California, or Southern California, which was like my dream come true. So my son had already started school, his first year here in Georgia, and he was in 8th grade at the time. And then, so I got here in November, I think around the 20th, and we had our first Thanksgiving here at our house in Georgia. Then, so I guess basically that's about it, but it took a lot of planning, and I had to drive 2 times across the country and fly with my son so I could bring him here. But it was worth it. If you ask me, would I do it again? Yes, I'd do it again in a minute. My dog's outside barking. I don't know if you can hear him, but oh my God, if he is not the center of attention, he is barking at something. He used to drive SassE insane. So I'm almost done making the little pie pieces. For Thanksgiving, I'm making the pumpkin pie recipe SassE has on one of her videos. So, wish me luck, because I was never as good of a baker as she was, and I know I'm gonna miss that about her. She would always make the pie for Thanksgiving at my house, as she was always at my house, because we lived so close in California. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I need at least one more piece to make 2. So I'm going to cut that. I'm contemplating what to do. I think I'm going to make one of these little garlands all pumpkin pie, and then I'm going to make another one with the lattice work pie, but that's going to be a little trickier. So oh no, this is so good. Okay, let me just finish the pumpkin pie one. Okay, so now that I have the pies cut out, the pumpkin and the crust, I need to make a bunch of strips of the crust color. I'll use one I've already cut, and that's going to go across here, and we're going to make it like a little imprinted crust. You'll see what I'm talking about. Gotta take the price tag off. Back to what I was saying. So SassE came out in April of 2018, finally. To check out the area. I told her she would like it. Georgia for like $2.50. So if that gives you any idea of what the inflation is like in California and why a lot of people are leaving, that's a clue, because a lot of people can't afford to live in California anymore. I think the median home price is like $580,000. So if you want to own a home, you either have to have already had one, or you have to have family members who can co-sign with you, or who can loan you money or give you money in order to afford a home. What was interesting though was that her car insurance was going to cost more, and that's because people in Georgia are not the best drivers. Sorry folks, but that's the fact. Actually, California has the best drivers in my opinion, and because we're used to dealing with so much crap, and but also really the traffic runs a little bit slower because there's so much of it. So her car insurance was going to go up, and she was a little upset about that, but then her homeowner's insurance went down, and the cost of gas is cheaper, and state tax is cheaper, and property tax is cheaper. So it was really a win-win situation for her. Sassy came to Georgia in, I can't remember, it must have been June or July, and we were looking at houses. Yeah. She found one, but it was a 2-story house, and when they did the inspection, it had a lot of issues. So she said, no, I don't think so. And her agent found her a ranch style or a single story home, and she couldn't come out to come see it. So she bought her house sight unseen. I mean, you can see pictures of it on the internet and stuff, but she didn't know how far it was from work. She didn't know what kind of neighborhood it was. Anyway, it ended up being a really great neighborhood. And thank God she bought that house, because when she got sick, my mom had to come and stay with us. And my mom can't do stairs, so it worked out better that we had a single story home for her to stay in. So I forgot to mention that when Sassy moved, I flew to California, and she picked me up at the airport, and we started driving. She was driving most of the first day, and this was in late August. It was, I think, around August 26th or so of 2017. And sadly, that was when she really started having the back pain that was ultimately found out to be pancreatic cancer. So we were driving the first day, and she doesn't remember this, but I do. She was complaining about her back, and that it hurt, and she thought it was from moving her bed, because she had given her bed to a friend or sold it to a friend. So she thought she was from that, and that wasn't what it was. Of course, it was the nerve pain from the tumor that was in her stomach. And what happens is the pain radiates to the back. So that first night we stopped in New Mexico. I'm pretty sure that's where I went with her. And we stayed at this Airbnb place, and she couldn't sleep. So she just thought it was, anxiety and stress from having to move, and back pain from moving heavy stuff. So she asked me to drive, so I drove the next leg, which when she and I went, we took 4 days. So the 2 times that I went, once with my husband and once with my friend, we took 3 days. Sassy didn't want to rush, so we took 4 days. So I drove basically the next 3 days because she wasn't able to sleep because of the pain. And then I think she started work on September 5th. So we drove to my house, and she stayed a day. And the next day, she drove her car to sign for her house. And then she just waited there to move it, for her stuff so that she could move in. I say all this with a heavy heart. Because she just wanted a better life. And she finally got it. And she got sick and she died. It just kills me. Okay, it doesn't say, but I'm just putting 2.5 inches in between each piece of pie. Ow, 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 ow. Hot glue is actually hot. So that's about 2.5 inches, I think. And it's a little bit more. Anyways, as soon as Sassy moved in, she was going to work, and she was slumped over her desk. Her stomach and her back were hurting, and I kept on telling her to go to the doctor. And she kept going, and they just kept on telling her that it was anxiety or stress. And of course, you guys know the rest. Tomorrow is November 20th, and that will be 1 year since her diagnosis. So finally what happened was she was not feeling well, and I told her to go to the doctor, and so she went. I think she had to take an Uber because she couldn't drive. We lived 2 hours away after she moved to Georgia. She took the Uber and she went to the ER, and they did nothing for her, literally. Sent her home, and they told her to follow up with her doctor, something to that effect. Well, when she followed up, another doctor was filling in that day because she'd been going to this lady over and over and over again. And this was the lady that wouldn't give her anything for pain, and that was, basically telling her that it was stress or anxiety or whatever. So, and of course, this is in Georgia now, so who knows if they were even looking at her chart from California. This new doctor that's filling in listens to her symptoms, which were the nausea, vomiting, back pain, unable to sleep, loss of appetite, and she asked the doctor, is this in my mind? You know, am I going crazy? Is this mental? And the doctor said, no, you have specific symptoms, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And that's when she ordered SassE, the CT scan with oral and IV contrast. That was like on November 16th or 18th, I can't remember. I had to drive to SassE's house because she couldn't drive herself to go get the CT scan. So she got the CT scan, and on November 20th last year, she was driving to my house for Thanksgiving. She had the weekend off from work, and she was going to drive to my house so that we could, you know, bake. And this has 5. I think I'm going to put 7 on this one. So she was going to drive to my house. We were going to bake, and I just wanted to try to get her mind off of the pain. We didn't know what it was, and I was praying that it wasn't anything serious, but I had a feeling that it was. So while she's driving over, her regular doctor, the one that thought she was having stress or anxiety, calls her and tells her to pull over and tells her that she has pancreatic cancer, and that it has spread to her liver, and that she needs to go to the emergency room immediately because there are blood clots in her stomach. She texted me, and basically she said, I have pancreatic cancer. And I already knew what that meant. And she said, I'm dying. And I packed up my things, and I met her at the ER. September, October, November. So she hadn't even really been here 2 months in our new home when everything went sideways. Okay, so I've got 7 pieces of pumpkin pie now on the twine. And just so you know, I measured the twine to my mantle. And I put the middle one on first, so it would be centered. So this is the middle one. Now I'm going to add the whipped cream, which is a little pre-made pom-pom that I bought at Hobby Lobby. So anyway, guys, that is the story of our move to Georgia and how we got here and how SassE got here and everything in between. And as you guys know, we lost SassE on April 10th, 2019. She didn't make it 5 months. And the moral of the story is, if you are having stomach pains or back pains or changes in your stool, for example, if your stools or poop, if your stools float, that's not normal and you need to get checked out. And if your stools have suddenly turned green, or if they turn green off and on, you have an issue. But here's the thing, most doctors won't check for pancreatic cancer until it's too late, which is why people die all the time from pancreatic cancer. One of the reasons. So you need to tell them if you suspect that there's something wrong, that you are having all of these issues, and that you want a CT scan with oral and IV contrast. So there's our garland, but I think it came out pretty cute. Don't you think? I just want you guys to know that this Thanksgiving, I'm grateful for the 49 years I had with my sister, SassE. And I am grateful that she was here in Georgia when she got sick so that I could take care of her. And I am grateful for you guys who really helped us through a very difficult time. I am also thankful for my mom, Mommy Snacks, who was 84 years old when SassE was diagnosed, and she dropped everything she was doing and came and moved in with SassE and me. I couldn't have done it without her because I was driving SassE everywhere, and Mommy Snacks was making meals and cleaning and taking over for me when I couldn't be there, because I had to come home every once in a while to take care of my own family. And Mommy Snacks doesn't drive, so anyway, I could not have done it without her. So thank you, Mommy Snacks. I'm grateful for you. I am grateful for my sister's friends who helped me and helped her in her last months of life. So thanks to Melissa and MC Raider and Amy, who bought us meals. Thanks to Matt and Janet. With that being said, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones, with your roommates, whoever it is that you are having Thanksgiving